This belonging is not based on performance. It was sealed the moment I called you mine. I sense you doubting if you'll ever be the person you dream about, the one who moves with assurance. There is a tenderness in your longing that I treasure. Instead of punishing your impatience, I honor your hunger for change. Growth is rarely loud or showy. Often it is the invisible expansion of roots reaching for waters no one else sees. Let me draw you deeper. There is more, far more than survival and relief. I am calling you into partnership, not mere rescue. When you sense rising courage, channel it into small acts of faith. Reach out to someone who seems forgotten. Bless an enemy in private. Give gratitude for mundane beauty. Watch as every surrendered act becomes seed for miracles in places you never anticipated. As you live from this flow, you'll begin to notice unexpected favor and divine alignment. I haven't shielded you from all pain, but I have stored every tear as sacred testimony, a reservoir I will use to water the garden of your influence. What you once wished to erase, I am now turning into your anointing. Your sorrow is not wasted. It is being spun into the very source of your wisdom and compassion. You are being commissioned, not merely consoled. Accept this mantle and let its weight settle over your shoulders with peace, not fear. There is something only you can carry, shaped from what you thought disqualified you most. You will look back on this very season and wonder how it ever felt so overwhelming once you see what emerges from it. I am preparing you for impact you cannot measure. Something monumental is shifting not only in you but around you. The old labels are slipping away. The limits that held you are dissolving. Doors you once pushed against now open freely as you approach with confidence born not of self but of deep trust. You see, I never measure you by your weakest moment, nor do I withhold my embrace for the times you doubt or falter. My love is unwavering, steady as the sunrise that arrives daily, not because you earn it, but because I am committed to your heart. When you think you have exhausted all your strength, I am already breathing new life into the places where you feel dry and empty. Do not judge the story I am telling with a single page torn by pain or confusion. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration that hope is alive within you because I am alive within you. Family, relationships, and the people you care for may sometimes become sources of weariness or even pain. Do not shoulder their burdens alone. Entrust them to me again and again, even when change is slow and invisible. I work in hidden ways. While you wait, I soften hearts and arrange circumstances beyond what you could plan. Let peace come over you now. Picture me placing my hand on your shoulder. Feel the gentle weight and know that I am here, neither rushed nor impatient. Every day is another chapter where my mercy is renewed, holding open all the possibilities that fear tried to close off. You are invited to live boldly, not by your own courage, but by trusting my unfailing presence. As you give your worries to me, even when your mind tries to reclaim them, find comfort in the fact that you don't have to have it all figured out to be safe in my care. Your story is not over. Let your heart stay open to me even now, for what I am doing reaches further than your imagination dares. The journey you have walked is not wasted. I gather every piece, every shattered hope, and even your failed attempts at wholeness, reshaping them into a strength you could not have birthed alone. In the quiet hours when regret tries to claw at your mind, I lean even closer. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the living proof of my mercy, carried by the hands of a love that will never let go. When the ache of the world tries to overwhelm you today, remember where you are anchored. Turn inward now and let my nearness wrap you in assurance. I am here. My beloved, when tomorrow dawns, you will wake with a new certainty, as if the heaviness that clung to you for months simply dissolved while you slept. You'll know it's me because joy will greet you before your feet ever touch the ground. There are promises I have spoken over you that still stand, no matter how much time has passed or how many detours you have taken. My word is not subject to expiration or decay. Every blessing stored for you remains sealed, waiting for you to step forward and claim it by trust, not performance. My timeline is perfect. What appears to be delay is only divine preparation. I want you to lift your eyes again, even if disappointment tries to keep them cast down. The long winter is yielding to spring. Buds are forming beneath the surface, and soon you will see evidence. Watch as relationships thaw, as creativity surges, as courage climbs quietly back into your vocabulary. I know you wrestle with the fear that old wounds can never fully heal. You wonder if you are marked forever by what was done to you, or by what you failed to do. Listen, those scars are not signs of disqualification. They are banners of survival. reminders that you and I have crossed valleys that would have crushed others. Do not shrink from your own testimony. The very places you want to forget will be the openings through which light pours onto others. Healing is not a shortcut. It's a revolution from the inside out, and you are living proof that resurrection is not reserved for legends. I'm turning your emptiest spaces into launching grounds for joy. Stop. Feel your feet pressing into the floor. Breathe in my presence as if it is the air itself. The safety you hunger for isn't abstract. It's here, tangible. Now whisper with faltering lips if you must. I am not forsaken. I am cherished by the everlasting. Speak it louder, if only to drown out the voices that say otherwise. The sound of your own declaration realigns your soul with the truth. Too often you have measured your progress by what is visible to others. Today I want you to measure it by the gentleness growing inside of you, by the quickened moments you pause to listen, by the forgiveness you offer both others and yourself. These are the fruits of the invisible kingdom I am building within you, and their harvest outlasts applause or achievement. Even now as you listen, healing is taking root in the places you've nearly forgotten to hope for. My promise endures. Do not rush away from this encounter. Let the silence hang heavy for a moment. In the stillness you will feel my approval, steady, unwavering, unconditioned by your performance. Countless others are beginning to feel the same awakening. You are not isolated. You walk among a multitude of my beloved who are rising from the ashes of private loss into miraculous community. Soon you will see the evidence. Words spoken that ring with life, opportunities unfolding precisely when they were needed most. Gentle nudges that confirm you are on the right path. Take a slow breath and let it fill you. The same way sunrise invites gold onto the world's edges. Sense the hush around you, a sacred quiet that marks the beginning of something new. You may wonder, am I doing enough? Am I enough as I am? I hear the ache behind your discipline, the effort you give day after day. My child, I am not measuring you by productivity or comparing you to impossible ideals. My gaze is fixed upon you, not as a task to be completed, but as a beloved one whose very being delights me. Feel my nearness settle over your shoulders now, like a gentle hand that steadies you when restlessness rises. Let yourself acknowledge the tension inside, the mixture of yearning and fatigue, and bring it to me honestly. I am not alarmed by your doubts. Can you remember a recent time when gratitude moved through your heart, even just for a breath or a flash? Hold on to that memory now. Gratitude is not about denying pain or pretending life is simple. It is the seed from which joy and hope grow fresh again. I desire wholeness for you, not perfection. Fullness of heart, not relentless striving. Everything surrendered into my hands becomes the soil for something beautiful, even if the results are hidden. I see your family, the relationships closest to you that carry equal measures of joy and ache. I know where words have faltered, where distance lingers, and where you quietly hope for understanding or healing. Every name you carry in your heart, every silent prayer for their well-being is precious to me. Do not believe the lie that you must fix every broken place. Instead, entrust each loved one into my care. Let my love surround them, and let my wisdom guide you in patience and humility. There's a deeper purpose awakening within you, a calling shaped by the unique story I am writing in your life. As you release the need to control every detail, you begin to sense my guidance as both invitation and assurance. Even if you feel unqualified or uncertain, I remind you that I do my best work through those who lean wholly into me. Your destiny is not destined for someday, but unfolding even now as you trust me step by step. Nothing is wasted. Not the waiting, not the longing, not even the setbacks that once crushed your hope. Stay here with me in this stillness. For what I begin in you I will see through. Lift your eyes and let the newness of this moment draw you forward. Sometimes surrender will look less like a bold declaration and more like a hesitant release of control. Your fingers uncurling one worry at a time, your plans set down with trembling trust. I cherish these moments more than fiery promises, because real surrender is measured not by certainty, but by the willingness to return to me again. Each time you admit you do not have all the answers, I receive your honesty as an invitation. If you begin to question the pace of your life, doubting whether anything is moving or if doors will ever open, remember that my timing is a shelter, not a barrier. I see what you cannot. I delay what you are not yet ready to hold and accelerate what would otherwise pass you by. Trust that I have gone ahead of you, preparing reasons for hope you have not even seen. In silent anticipation, let yourself imagine better endings than your fears have written. I am planting a vision gently in your spirit, often quieter than the worries that clamor for your attention. The stirrings of compassion, the dreams that persist through disappointment. These are not accidents. They are invitations from me, signals that you are being prepared for good things, that your calling unfolds step by step. Where doubt tells you your desires are too small or too grand, let me affirm, nothing is wasted, not even the yearning that feels out of reach. My protection is closer than your breath. Though danger or distress may sometimes seem nearer, just as a shelter is known best in the midst of a storm, so my safeguarding is strongest when you are most aware of your vulnerability. Do not assume that challenges mean I have abandoned you. Rather, notice how many times you have come safely through what felt impossible. When you pause to speak with me, even with words you barely believe, know that I hear every sigh, every unspoken need. My listening is not casual or distant. It is the intimate attention of a parent watching a newborn sleep. In this space where your concerns pour out, I respond not always with immediate change, but with a steady presence, infusing your heart with courage to endure what must last and peace to release what must end. Let your breath settle for a moment. Can you feel your heart beating under your hand? That is not only the rhythm of your life, but the steady insistence of my love for you, pulsing through the depths of who you are. Even as restlessness rises or anxiety flutters, I am closer than the air you draw into your lungs. My child, I have seen how you've tried to hide the places of your heart that ache. The weight of shame, disappointment, or silent regret has drawn heavy curtains across the windows of your soul, but nothing can block out the light I bring. I am not repelled by your pain. In fact, I am drawn with even more compassion to the very wounds you'd rather conceal. What you've hidden out of fear of judgment, I touch gently with healing. I do not define you by your lowest valley. Rather, I honor the courage it takes to hand your brokenness over to me. This is not the chapter where you are forgotten. It is the one where your heart learns to trust the hand that won't let you fall. Repeat this with me right now. I am not abandoned. I am not beyond restoration. As you say these words aloud, feel the vibration ripple through your chest. That is my life and truth strengthening your identity with every spoken syllable. There is great power released when your voice aligns with mine. Even if it feels unfamiliar at first, you may sense resistance. A whisper patterned from years of believing lies that said you are too flawed or too late. But that is not your inheritance, beloved. Every whisper of unworthiness is silenced beneath the assurance that you are chosen, deeply engraved in my heart before you drew your first breath. You wonder if I am speaking only to those who seem braver, holier, or more deserving. You question whether this invitation includes you, the one who's made mistakes, who still wrestles with doubt, who sometimes feels too numb to hope. Listen, I am near to the brokenhearted, not the ones who pretend strength. It is your honesty, not your perfection, that invites breakthrough. I have called you by name, and I am not deterred by the messiness of your process. There has been a battle for your identity, fueled by memories tainted by abandonment or careless words that lingered too long. I have watched as old accusations replayed themselves in your inner dialogue, convincing you that you are irreparably stained. But hear me. The past has no authority to dictate your worth. I have written a new name over you, one that cannot be revoked by anything done to you or by you. You are not labeled by failure. You are sealed as beloved. You have not missed your moment. This is not the ending. I am redeeming lost time in ways you cannot yet fathom, restoring beautiful purpose to years you mourned as wasted. Soon, unexpected invitations will find you, openings you thought had closed forever. You will recognize them because peace will wash over you at the very moment anxiety once ruled. This shift isn't accidental. It is the ripple effect of what happens when surrender meets divine orchestration. What if tomorrow you wake with a clarity that makes what once confused you suddenly simple? You'll know it's me because joy will surface where dread used to dwell. There is a commission rising within you. Even if you feel unprepared, I choose the humble, the overlooked, the ones the world skips in its search for the extraordinary. You are being refined, not rejected. I am forging resilience from your pain, compassion from your scars, strength from the very moments you thought would break you. The season is changing. The dreams that seem foolish or buried are stirring with new possibility. Don't be surprised when you begin to long for things you had nearly forgotten. That is my spirit rekindling what I placed in you long before disappointment tried to snuff it out. Can you sense the anticipation building? Something eternally important is awakening. Right now you may notice emotions surfacing, perhaps tears, perhaps a surge of courage you can't quite explain. Don't resist this. Let what comes come. I am ministering to you in the silence between your thoughts, in the pause between one heartbeat and the next. Receive the validation that has been lacking in so many relationships. You are seen. You are treasured. You are necessary. Not once have you been overlooked by my gaze. Pause once more. Place your hand on your heart. Say, I am not forgotten. I am being made new. Feel the truth embed itself, driving out what never belonged. Remember, the shift already underway in you will not be undone by a single bad day or momentary relapse into fear. Real transformation is not fragile. It is forged in my presence. There will be moments, perhaps soon, when old insecurities attempt to reclaim territory. When that happens, interrupt the pattern. Say aloud, that's not the voice of my Father. As you do, you'll interrupt the cycle and anchor your soul again in promise. If doubts taunt you with thoughts like, will I ever truly change? Counter with this, I am more committed to your wholeness than you could ever be. My relentless pursuit never ceases. This is not merely about your own healing. As you allow yourself to be remade in my presence, the overflow will touch others in ways you can't yet imagine. Multitudes are thirsting for authentic hope, desperate for living water in a parched land. I am choosing you to be a vessel not of perfection, but of honest restoration. Your life will be a signpost to those searching in darkness. Even now, people are being drawn to you by a magnetism they cannot explain. Soon, you'll find opportunities to speak the words you're hearing now, to offer comfort from the very places where you were once comforted. Do not underestimate the ripple of one surrendered heart. You have come so far, beloved. Every step that felt heavy, every night when rest refused to come, each unspoken ache I have witnessed. You wonder if it matters to me, these tiny fractures and silent battles. Let me assure you, not a sigh escapes my notice. I draw closer in your uncertainty, settling beside you as a shield. Now is the moment for honesty, the crossroads of courage and fear. The world has trained you to mask your struggle, to hide disappointment, to keep silent about longing. But I know and love every place you've concealed. My dearest child, bring every torn aspiration, each private defeat out of the shadows. I am not afraid of your doubts, nor am I dismayed by how you have coped. My arms remain open, ready to hold the parts of your heart you judge unworthy. Trust is not a single leap. It is a series of small surrenders, one after the other. Each time you choose to believe my nearness outweighs your shame. Pause with me here. Notice the rhythm of your heartbeat, the steady rise and fall beneath your hand. That is my promise solidified in flesh. You continue because I am upholding you. Even in moments you called yourself a failure, my voice whispered, you are becoming. My commitment to you is unfailing. The process may be slow, and the landscape before you still shrouded in mist, but breakthrough is stirring beneath what appears stagnant. I am preparing something new, not only around you, but within you. An expansion of hope that will not be shaken. There are lies you've lived with so long, their voices sound like your own. They told you you are too much, and you shrank yourself to fit someone else's comfort. They whispered you are not enough, and you tried to earn love through striving and exhaustion. I see where those chains settled around your mind. Today, my voice, stronger than all accusations, breaks through. You have found your way to this moment, and it is not by chance. Right now, I am speaking directly to your heart. Let yourself be still and listen. Feel my presence just as you notice the sunlight warming your face after a season of clouds. This word is your anchor for today. It is fashioned for the ache you rarely name, and for the restless longing that pulls at you before you even open your eyes. I see every unspoken question. Will things ever change for me? Am I good enough? Hear me. If you leave now, it will only deepen your longing. Stay and let me care for you right where you are. Breathe gently and notice the rhythm of your own heart. Each beat is a gift I have chosen to give you. The space in this silence is no accident. I designed it so you could find me here. No matter how many worries fill your mind, let them slip aside for a moment. Allow the hush of the morning or evening to wrap around you like my arms resting on your shoulders. I am near, nearer than your questions, and I am not in a hurry. The world can spin so quickly, but my care moves with a sacred slowness. I have all the time you need. My dear one, you have tried so hard not to falter. You measure your steps and second-guess your choices, as if your destiny could be unraveled by one misstep. But I am the keeper of your story, guarding every chapter. Your struggles do not disqualify you or delay my purpose. I have been beside you even in the moments that felt like endings. That anxious flutter in your chest, bring it to me. When you reach for reassurance, I am already reaching back with quiet strength. My promise is not that you will never face storms, but that I will steady you through them. When you woke today, some of your first thoughts were colored by worry and unfinished hopes. Let me shift your gaze to gratitude. That you took another breath, that you found a beam of light spilling through your window, that you heard laughter or remembered a kindness. These are the seeds of hope I continue to sow on your path. See how every small moment, every ordinary blessing is evidence of my devotion. When your heart swells with gratitude, even for tiny things, the heaviness begins to lift. Gratitude is a doorway. Walk through it with me. I know there are fears that return again and again. The ones you wrestle with in the dark, the fears about your family, your future, the things you cannot control. Place them before me, even if your hands feel empty or clumsy. I do not require you to have the answers. Faith is not pretending you are unafraid. It is giving me your real concerns. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. Sense my presence in the quiet of your room. See my hand resting quietly on your head, whispering calm. When you do this, your spirit will remember what your mind often forgets. I am not distant from your pain. Pause with me now. Let every muscle soften for a moment. I am here inviting you to rest. True, deep rest that lifts the burdens you cannot carry alone. Will you let me shoulder what has been weighing on your mind since yesterday? My strength never runs dry. You are not defined by setbacks or the pace of your progress. Even if you do not see immediate results, my purpose for you remains. Your identity is safe in my hands, shaped daily by my affection. When you feel pressure to prove yourself, draw near to my voice. I call you beloved, chosen, cherished, not because of what you achieve, but because you are mine. You may wonder if I have forgotten the dreams I placed in your heart. The quiet ones you are almost too afraid to speak aloud. Know this, nothing I have spoken over you is wasted. My timing is never rushed, and I am not deterred by obstacles or delays. When the road twists or the sky darkens, my guidance becomes a gentle light that cannot be put out. Take one small step in faith, even if you do not see the whole path. In moments of uncertainty, remember you are still guided, covered, and fiercely loved. You may feel unprepared or not enough. Yet I call you courageous because you keep showing up. I notice every attempt, every act of kindness, every time you choose faith when doubt would be easier. These choices matter to me. Let my words be a shield for your thoughts today. When uncertainty tries to take root, recall my faithfulness. Every morning is a promise of new mercies. Lift your eyes and glimpse the possibilities still ahead. My plans do not change with your circumstances. I hold your future, and every chapter is covered in my care. You are not walking alone. Not for one step. When doubts try to gather and questions crowd at the edges, keep listening. My whisper will bring clarity, and my presence will quiet your fears. I am preparing the ground beneath your feet, filling the hidden places with my light. Let me lead you deeper into my peace. I see you in these moments, hesitating between the calm hush of a new day and the turbulence waiting at the edges of your thoughts. There is a stillness here I have set aside for you, a place in time where you can lay down every heavy question, every anxious thread about tomorrow, every ache that lingers from yesterday. My presence wraps around you now, gentle but sure, holding you steady. The world tells you that you must strive and produce, but I invite you to simply breathe and rest in my nearness, to realize that your worth is already sealed by my love. Feel the quiet in your chest and know it is not emptiness. It is space I am filling with peace, moment by moment. Everything that concerns you, I know intimately. The future that bothers you at night, the burdens you quietly shoulder for family, the fears you cannot voice aloud, none of these escape my attention. You are not alone in your waiting or your wondering. There is purpose even here in this unresolved space, and I am gently shaping what comes next. If your heart aches for those you love, lift them up to me. Your family's well-being, their struggles, and secret hopes matter to me, just as they matter to you. When you feel powerless, unable to change or fix what hurts them, that is precisely when surrender means the most. You are not responsible for holding every piece together. Release the pressure you heap on your own shoulders. Imagine my hands over those you cherish, sheltering them more completely than you ever could. Trust that my timing is at work, drawing good from even the most confounding seasons. You may ask, how can I be sure you have me? What if I stumble before the day even truly begins? Little one, hear me. Your weakness is never a surprise to me. If the shadows of worry or regret threaten to follow you, do not scold yourself for feeling them. Instead, let those moments be where you reach out for my hands. I am not waiting on the other side of your perfection. I step into each moment where you call on me. I see you pressing your palm to your chest, bracing for what the day might bring, afraid the demands on your heart will outweigh your strength. Yet my promise is not that you carry all things alone, but that you let me carry you, again and again.